Welcome to Cooped Up Live, should I say. Hope you had a great Monday and a great weekend. We'll get into all of that momentarily. While we are waiting on folks to join, coopedup.com is my website. You can visit that at any time. I sporadically post content. I sporadically send emails, so you can sign up for those as well while you are there. I'm Cooped Up is my handle in all of the social places. Would love a follow wherever you are, particularly if you're on the Instagrams. And wherever you watch this or listen to this, it is broadcast on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, as well as my personal profile now, and rebroadcast in audio format on all of the major podcasting platforms. Be sure to click the bell, subscribe button, whatever it is, so that you do not miss a second and you get notified when I come live. Please comment away. Love interacting with y'all if you are watching this on the live broadcast. Hello, Mother. Hey, Mama. I don't know, I called you Mother. And there's Eric too. Hey, how are you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. So, oh, that's a topic, Eric. Mean people on Facebook. Not you, the guy. I'm going to write that down real quick. Mean people on Facebook. Because that guy just did not get it. Anyway, So, weather weird here today. It was way colder this morning than I thought it was going to be. I thought tomorrow was when all of the cold weather set in. Turns out it's today. And then it's just going to get colder. And tomorrow here in North Texas, we are expected to see snow flurries and all of that tomorrow. North of us, it may start sticking to the grass and stuff. It's not going to do anything here other than just be pretty in the sky. I'm sure it'll cause crazy traffic. And Mason, poor Mason, has got his shadow day and interview at Green Hill tomorrow. And we're very excited about it, but it is quite a drive. And I will tell you, this is going to be the test of, like, tomorrow, weather, cold, some precipitation, some snow. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't take more than 35 minutes to get there. That's the amount of time I'm allowing, at least, or that I have to give. So, Eric is reporting in that he had a very good weekend. He should have taken a day off to recover. I know it was, for us, it was one of those things where you just blink and you missed it. I don't even remember what we did Friday evening, but most of the day Saturday we spent organizing all of we're still taking down Christmas decor. I got most of it down. Todd went out to RV and to fix some things. I took down the remaining trees and garlands and all that kind of stuff. Just on the other side of this wall right here, I have 4 armoires, or like they're like, that's overstating it. They're from IKEA. They're like pipes, and then they've got like a plastic sheath over them that I put all of the stuff on hangers in there, so I don't have to zhuzh it every time. Best idea I ever had was that. And if you have the space, do it. And then boxed up all the ornaments and all that kind of stuff. But Todd, the bane of his existence is, or his Christmas existence at least, is the way that I decorate, is that I don't do it the same way every year. One year I might want the big reindeer in the living room, and one year I might want the big reindeer on the dining room table, and one year I might want the 6-foot Santa looking out the window in the library, or I might want him scaring the shit out of you when you come down the stairs in the kitchen. It just depends on my mood. That is not Todd. Todd is the type of person where if he puts something somewhere and he likes the way it looks there, he's like, that's its home forever and ever and ever. Amen. It actually drives him insane because I'm constantly redecorating our house. I'm constantly being like, I wonder what that painting would look like in the living room or above the mantle on the fireplace instead of wherever it is. Because he's like, then you ruined one room to make another room better. And I'm like, I just created an opportunity to get something else. And so that is, Eric is asking, is this shirt new? New-ish. It's probably the 3rd time I've worn it. It's pullover. It's just part of, it was on a super clearance. It's from Land's End, and it was from Reese Witherspoon's collection there, and it is called, I can't think of it now. It's got a cutesy name. But yeah, I like it. Some people love it, and some people say I look like a Dairy Queen tablecloth. So we did that yesterday. As I told y'all on Friday, I was going to take Claire to Barnes and Noble over the weekend. She had claimed that she's never been to an actual bookstore before that sold like new books. We've been to Half Price Books. We've got Lucky Dog Books here in the neighborhood, little used bookstores, but they don't have the full breadth of everything. And Claire's wanting to see specifically, there's this book series she likes called Warrior Cats. And it's kind of this like Lord of the Rings slash I can't think of anything else, but it's like fantasy. These cats are they're not like talking cats. They're just like walking around like normal cats, but they have clans and they battle and all that kind of stuff. She's really into it. And there's like 40 books in this series, and she just really just wanted to see that they all exist at the same time. And so we went to Barnes and Noble, the one over by North Park Mall here in Dallas, which is gorgeous. It is a gorgeous bookstore. It's 2 stories, 2 big escalators in the middle. So we went, and I told her I would buy her 2 books, and that if she wanted more books, she had to buy them on her own because she has a little Greenlight debit card and cash from Christmas and such. She did not take, but she took me up on the 2 part. She did not take me up on the you could buy the rest yourself. And then bought some other stuff there. I love going there, and I love going through the section of, it's kind of like their last call section where they just have all the random books about stuff. I found this really cute book, and I was going to bring it upstairs. It's on the kitchen counter downstairs now, but it is 301 Things to Draw, and it's like a little book, and each page has just either a single word on it or 2 words on it, depending on what it is. And it's a prompt to draw that. And this book costs like $9. And I originally bought one for Mason because Mason's really into drawing. And so just kind of give him stuff. But then I had the brilliant idea once I got home with this book. What a fun like family thing this would be if we all had one. And then we all just picked a number between 1 and 301 or 200, whatever the number was. And I knew it was either 201 or 301. And picked it, and then we all drew one thing each day together. It didn't have to be that regimented, but just like a fun thing other than playing a game or whatever. And so, of course, I had to go back. So I went back yesterday, got 3 more of these things. Of course, we haven't drawn in them yet. I'm going to force us to do it tonight. And then we watched last night the Cowboys game. Can you believe the sports thing that I am doing? If we're going to be truth tellers, though, and I'm always a truth teller, I spent as much time watching the game as I spent Googling the names of the hot football players, like seeing what they actually look like outside of their uniform. Like, ooh, because there's some have nice arms, I'm telling you. And so it didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to. The Cowboys did not win, and I know nothing about the 49ers. Other than that their quarterback, I think, is Brock Purdy. And literally every time, I'm surprised Todd didn't murder me. Every time they said Brock Purdy, I said, he sure is. I mean, literally every time they said Brock Purdy on the field, he sure is. Got real country. Do you know who seems like he is probably one of the nicest people on the planet? I have no point of reference on any of these people at all. Like I may have heard a name here or there, that sort of thing. So I'm just prefacing it with that. But Dax Prescott, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, seems like he is the nicest person in professional football. He was just, they did an interview beforehand, and that smile just lights up. He was very kind to the reporter, very complimentary of his teammates, all that kind of stuff. And then when they were coming out, the way he was giving them all different high fives and stuff, and maybe they do that at every game. Maybe every quarterback does that. I do not know. This is the entirety of my exposure to such things. But it was just so sweet the way they were, like the camaraderie with all of them. And then just on the field, like when stuff would happen, the way he would like kind of console people already. Yeah. Eric is asking, was my boy Jimmy Garoppolo, I do know that one, playing for the 49ers yesterday? He's pretty too. Yes, he is. And he was not. He was out. I think he tore something or hurt something like a week ago, and so they were skipping this game so that he could play in next week's game, according to what I recall of the people saying. But yeah, Jimmy G, he's a cutie pie. But the Sam was saying he sure is. Yep, that was me. The I thought this game. So I went into it thinking that this game is the winner. The winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl, right? I was very wrong, and probably wouldn't have watched last night's game had I realized that. I got about halfway through it, and Monica, my sister, is texting with me, and I'm like, "So, are they going to the Super Bowl next week?" And she's like, "No, dumbass. It's like 2 more games. They got to win to get to the Super Bowl. They have to win this and the next one." And I'm like, "Oh, crap. Did not realize that." But I did have a good time Googling the players. And again, I think Dax Prescott is just such a sweetie pie. What else? What else? Oh, did y'all see the trailer that they aired for the movie? What's it called? Knock at the Cabin. So M. Night Shyamalan. Some people have a love-hate relationship with him. Some people just have a straight-up hate relationship with him. I can't think of an M. Night Shyamalan movie that I did not like. Like, I'm not a big horror fan, but for some reason, M. Night Shyamalan's are just kind of a twist enough on things. I haven't seen all of them. The one I like the best is probably Sixth Sense for sure. And then I like that one. Is it called The Village, maybe? Where it's, and this is spoiler alert about a 20-year-old movie, where you think it is set in like the 1800s, and there's these monsters in the woods and all that kind of stuff, and it's very puritanical. And someone gets sick, and they need to send. Was she blind? I'm trying to remember. I think she was blind or something. Out, and it turns out it is modern times, and these are just gazillionaires who had tragedy in their lives or thought the world was too liberal or whatever, and got together and basically formed a cult or a commune, if you will, and bought all of this land. It's like, I can't remember if it was in Central Florida. I think that sounds right to me. Huge walls around it, security guards. They managed to get the airspace above it closed so no airplanes would go over it, all that kind of stuff. So so it was just like The Sixth Sense, where you're watching the movie. Another spoiler alert here. You're watching the movie, and it's not until the very, very end, like the last 10, 20 minutes of the movie, if even that, maybe it's like 5 or 10 minutes movie, that you realize that Bruce Willis has actually been dead the entire movie. He was murdered at the beginning of the movie and has been dead the whole time, and you thought he was just helping this kid out. Haley Joel Osment, is that the kid's name? Who's now probably in his 30s. But so this is kind of like that. The Village is where you watch the movie thinking it's one thing, and then you get to the end of it and you're like, oh, that's not at all what I thought it was. I don't remember the girl in the pool or girl in the water. People rag on that one all the time. Also, but anyway, back to the Knock at the Trailer, or Knock at the Cabin. The Knock at the Trailer. The Knock at the Cabin trailer. Knock at the Trailer. That's a totally different movie. It is, so the premise of it is this gay couple with their adopted Chinese baby go out camping, or go to a cabin. I don't know if it's their cabin or a cabin that they rented, but they're going out. They're having a great time. They're at this cabin, and a knock on the door comes, and it's these 4 like people that come in. You recognize some of them. One of them is the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy. He's kind of like the big oaf one on Guardians of the Galaxy. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff lately. And they come in, and they're basically like telling these 2 guys and the daughter's probably like 10 years old, that unless y'all decide to sacrifice one of the 3 of you, the apocalypse is going to happen, and thousands or millions of people are going to die. And they're like, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. And, I'm there for that. I'm not going to do it either. But, and every time that they refuse to do it, something bad happens. A plane falls out of the sky. A tidal wave hits the coast. Something blows up, like downtown LA blows up, that kind of thing. And they just won't kill each other. I'm there for that. So I'm interested in seeing it. At first I was like, is that actually going to the movie theater, or is that a streaming movie? It turns out it is in the movie theater. So I will wait till it streams, because here's the one thing about movies like that. Did he do Seven also? I can't remember, but that movie fucked me up. All of his movies are so weird that I need a good like 24 hours behind my locked door before I'm able to emerge and trust the world again. Like, I need to be able to just decompress, because I'm a scaredy cat. I'm not gonna lie. If a movie makes you cry, it's gonna make me cry. If a movie makes you scared, it's gonna make me scared as shit. I actually do not like horror movies at all. I only like kind of twisted thriller kind of movies, if I'm having to watch something like that. So I can't. So I still remember going to see Seven with my sister Monica when she was living here in Dallas with me. So this would have been like in the mid 90s. And Sam was saying he did not do Seven, but that movie haunted me. Yeah, same. I remember that movie being over, walking out of the theater with Monica, and it was at the movie theater on SMU's campus in the student center at the time. They did preview. It was like a preview. We went to that, and then we were walking out, and I remember being terrified and Monica was too. So it's not just me being a chicken. I was terrified to get to the car. So we kind of sat around the car, looked under the car. Before we got in, we drove a terrible Chevy Citation at the time. We were actually probably more likely to be killed by the Chevy Citation than we were by a serial killer at this point. The Chevy Citation was so shitty. How shitty was it? It had the wood package, and by the wood package, I mean they used wood to fix things. One of the side view mirrors had fallen off at somebody. They bought it. My sisters, I think my mom and stepdad at the time, bought it for my sister, and then she moved up here from a guy named Mr. Kabelka. I don't know why that name sticks with me, but one of the mirrors had fallen off, and he attached the mirror to a piece of wood, like a 2x4, and then he attached the 2x4 to the side of the car. This is the car that I'm driving to go to SMU. So I was not one of those little rich bitches yet at that point, but was scared. And then we got to our apartment. I was scared. We probably slept in the same room that night. I kid you not. Yeah, what's in the box? Just the ending of that movie, crazy. So I will wait for Knock at the Cabin to come on streaming. So a few more months before I see that. I don't even know when it comes out in theaters. I assume it's soon, if they're already teasing it during all of this. Eric is asking, was Seven with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman? Yes, it was. And if you have not seen it, it is a very good movie. I'm not going to lie. It is a very good movie. It is just mindfuck. What else? Oh, we got this close to going to see Wakanda Forever this weekend. I love Black Panther so much, and I haven't seen Wakanda Forever, and I was told last week that it is actually better than Black Panther. And I'm not even like all about like the superheroes and stuff. Like all that Marvel stuff, I'm like, boring. The what was the end game, that whatever that thing was? I was kind of like, this is boring. But Sandy, you have not finished Seven. Oh, it gets freakier, girl. You got to watch it to the end. If I recall, the final scene is like so messed up. Yeah. So, okay. You know what's funny though? I wonder if that movie is as scary now that we've all been completely desensitized by violence and gore and knowing what's going on. Because remember, that movie came out before the internet didn't even exist for most of us at the time. I'd say that movie came out. Monica lived with me 1995 to 1996. So the academic year, 1995 to 1996. It was my junior year at SMU. Monica lived here with me. We lived in an apartment on Cole that does not exist anymore. It's a high rise there now. And it was a much more innocent time. Let's just put it that way. So sometimes I look back at things that I remember being really scary, and then I'm like, well, that was nothing. Or you remember it being very sexually charged, and it was because they showed a tit or something. Like, not a big deal. Chad was born in 1995. I don't believe you. Nice to see you, Chad. But anyway, back to Wakanda Forever. So we were going to go see it because the kids also like Black Panther. Claire wanted to see it. I heard it's a very like female positive movie, like they're taking charge of the kingdom of Wakanda and all that stuff. Angela Bassett, who talks like this on every, oh, I just love her. I think she's aging in reverse, by the way. I think she is getting younger in front of our very eyes. But so I go to check movie times for it and just type in Wakanda Forever. I didn't even, as luck would have it, I did not go directly to Cinepolis's website. Normally that's what I do because that's my preferred movie theater. For this one, I typed in Wakanda Forever for some reason. It was just God's will, I guess. And it pops up and it's like streaming free on Disney Plus starting Wednesday, February the 1st. I was like, well, shit, I'm not about to spend $75 to take us to the movies to see a movie that we won't be able to see free in 10 days. So we did not go. We're going to watch it here at the house. Plus, it's probably a very long movie because they're all long now. It's a lot easier for me to pee if I can pause it. So hopefully I get up to pee. I don't just pee. Weird. And Aaron is saying after 2020 and Squid Game, I can handle. What was 2020? I don't know that one. Squid Game, though, yes, I can handle just about any show now. Yeah. And Squid Game, so there's like this immersive, it's called Interactive Game Box, something like that. There's one out by Nebraska Furniture Mart, and they just opened one in Deep Ellum, and it's like a video game that you're in it. You're in the video game playing, and they have a Squid Game version of that. Like, I'm like, part of me is very interested in it, and part of me is like repulsed that we're trying to pretend thing. Oh, yeah, it's like the year 2020. I'm such a moron. We had a pandemic. Thanks for that remind. I thought you meant like a movie 2020. That's what, oh man, that's so true. Pardon me for rubbing my nose so much. I don't know if it's allergies or COVID or what, but I had a runny nose all day today. I don't feel bad. I think it's just all this stuff blowing in. It's always the case. Anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, I had something weird happen. So, Claire and Mason both have these virtual reality goggles. I can't remember what they're called. Oculus. Yes, Oculus is what they're called. And they play these games, and these games are a lot of kids playing together. There's this one called like Gorilla Tag, Gorilla Race, Gorilla something, where they're running around, and it's super physical. Mason, we have them set up in the gym, and Mason comes out of there sweaty and stinky, and just his mask is filthy. I'm having to always wipe it down and all that kind of stuff. But they can hear other kids in it, so it's got small speakers just right above their ears, and it's super. I mean, I tried it, and it is insane how like realistic it is. Even the things that are not super realistic, like if they're still kind of pixelated, it still feels like you're in it. But you can hear it's kind of feeding you sound. And other people, like if I'm standing next to them, I can hear little chirps of what's being said. I may not be able to hear every word, but I walk in and I hear, and the kids, they're having conversations during this thing, kind of talking about themselves to each other. We've told our kids to be very careful with that. I'm not even paranoid. I'm like, they don't need to know everything. But there was this kid talking to Claire, and he was like, "You're adopted? That means your mom didn't want you?" Just like going in hard on that. And then Claire said something like, "Yeah, but my dad's adopted me," or something. He's like, "You've got two dads? Y'all are going to hell." So this kid was going in hard on Claire about this. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, "You can't cuss on this game." And I was like, okay, let's stop with that. What the world is going on? Why is this kid talking to you like this? It's all right. There's some of these kids are just mean. I've learned to ignore it, blah, blah, blah. Or I just talk back to them, talk sass back to them. And I'm like, no, that's not acceptable. And I go right up to her and I'm like, "Hey kid, you're a terrible, terrible person. You shouldn't say things like that. You don't even know this girl's story. You don't know me." Like, I'm going after this. I don't even know if this kid was 10. I don't know if this kid was 40. Whatever, but I'm going after this kid, and Claire's like, "Oh my God, Dad, you're so embarrassing." Yeah, it got me going, boiled my blood. And I was like, "Claire, get off of that right now. Just sign off right now. You can play it again later. Just get away from that kid." Dad, yeah. Yep, Oculus is the best. It is so good. I have to be careful though. They did one. Uh, it was a terrible prank. So they did one where I put it on and it was walking out on a plank. So you're on like a high rise and you're walking out on a plank, and it actually makes you feel like you were gonna fall. And then one of the kids shoved me, and I'm like, ah! like because you start falling. It legit felt like I was going to die. I kid you not. I was legit scared that I was going to die. Even though I was in my gym with the rubber mat floor, all that kind of stuff. And then the other time I played it, there was like this killer clown roller coaster, like all of the worst things in one. Um, and you're going and they're jumping out at you and stuff. I legit had to pull it off because I started to get motion sick on this thing. So I don't think the things that they're playing are like that. I think that they were just trying to get me to the edge, like gross me out or whatever. But it is just shocking the technology. Oh, and also the hateful kids on it. So I don't know. Do you think that kid learned a lesson, or do you think it just reinforced his beliefs that I'm a crazy person, that gays are crazy? I don't know. Maybe he thought about it. Maybe he didn't want to get yelled at again. Maybe he told his parent. Well, no, he wouldn't have told his parents that he said that, because that thing is a learned response. His parents would have been like, "Yep, damn right, damn right." So, oh, thank you, Chad. Speaking of aging in reverse, you look great. Thank you. You are the second person this week to tell me that. I had a meeting on Friday, and I was like, I'm not getting any younger. And the guy on the other end is a new on again, off again client. He goes, "You could have fooled me. I think you're getting younger every time I see you." So I appreciate it. And then today, I mean, I have lost weight. In case you haven't heard, I've lost some weight, 30 pounds. I'm at lunch today, and this guy who's on his phone, a guy I know, Charlie, on his phone, straight guy, by the way, he looks at me and he kind of puts his phone and he goes, "You have cheekbones. You're like your face is so angular now. What did you do?" Like, stopped his business call for it. I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. Yeah. Anyway. And then let's continue down that path about mean people. On Eric's Facebook last night, he posts, so people are dicks. That is just what it comes down to. Some people are dicks. He posts this, Eric, who pre-pandemic only knew where his kitchen was because he had to tour it when he bought his condo. Like, that is the only reason Eric knew where his kitchen was before that. Or it's where the ice was kept for the vodka if the bar ice maker wasn't out or had run out. So during the pandemic, Eric, and again, the only thing Eric used to make for dinner is reservations. Before that, he subscribed to HelloFresh and has been cooking, right? And probably less so now that we're all free to roam about the planet again. But Eric posts his recipes, and I don't want you to stop doing it. He'll post the results of his cooking. Well, last night he posts, it was like some enchiladas or something. And enchiladas, they never look good. I mean, they taste wonderful, but enchiladas, it's not a physically attractive food, right? So he posts it, and this guy starts going in on Eric. Not really going in. He just says something, "I'm just gobsmacked with all of your power and money and blah, blah, blah," which sounds like a compliment. He was like, "Why would you waste time making food that looked like that?" Like that sort of thing. And I'm like, that just got all over me. And I am nothing if not a mother hen. I have so much patience, but you start coming for my people, I'm gonna start coming for you. That is it. And so I just made a gentle comment back. I thought it was gentle, saying something to the effect of that was unnecessarily, or that was basically, I said that was unnecessary, and just because one thinks something doesn't mean one needs to type it out, right? That sort of thing. This guy writes, who doesn't even live here, he lives in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, right? Detroit. Sends me this, or posts on there, this manifesto of all of how I'm a bad person, how he wasn't saying anything bad. Eric, I know you took it offensively, right? It was definitely not a compliment. I thought I read it, and usually I'm kind of like ignoring people, but I thought it hurt my feelings for you. And he comes, and then I'm like, And I just said, bless your heart, is all I said. And then he goes into my Facebook and starts finding pictures and is posting this picture from last Friday of me with the scarf on and a picture of Mr. Furley from Three's Company. And is just making fun of me now. And I'm like, okay, dude, you just don't get it. I didn't say anything. I don't continue with people like that. But I'm just like, oh my God. So, and Eric turns out doesn't even know this person. It's just one of those Facebook friends, which I have plenty of those as well. So hopefully I did not misbehave too much, Eric. And then what else? Oh, there's only one other thing I wanted to talk about today that we did over the weekend. We are planning a garage sale. You know, nothing says glamour like putting a bunch of shit outside that you don't want, but you think other people are going to pay you for. I'd rather a volcano erupt under my house than do this, but Todd loves a garage sale. About every 5 years we do one. And now is the time. The one thing I do like about garage sales, it lets me get rid of a bunch of stuff that's just hanging out, and then I can just buy more stuff. So we have started doing our garage sale harvesting. You just go through the house and you're like, oh, I don't need that. Oh, I don't need that. I don't need, that kind of thing. None of this will go away, of course. But so we started that, and we've got a spot in the garage, one of the garages, of where we can put stuff, and are harvesting that. So that will continue. I will keep you posted in case y'all want to come visit and rummage through a bunch of stuff that I don't even want to rummage through. So I love you for caring about me, Eric says. Thank you, Eric. That's sweet. I love you, man. When is the garage sale? TBD. It will probably be in late February, early March, because we've got a couple of things going on. Carrie and I are going to see Adele in Las Vegas 2 weeks from Friday, the 10th, 11th, and 12th that weekend, and we're not going to do it that weekend. We'll have enough time to do it before that. Plus, you got the risk of weather. And then the weekend after that, we may be going out to LA to see our new nephew, Adler. Todd's sister had a baby over Christmas break. And so we're going to go out to them probably that weekend. That's President's Day weekend, I believe. And then that's TBD. We still don't know. If we don't go, that is probably the weekend we're going to do it. Otherwise, it might be the next weekend. So I'll keep you posted, though. You'll bring wine too, yes. Have I told you the story about Craig? Oh, shit. No, I can't wait. Put a pin in that until Sunday when we have dinner, Eric. So, all righty. And that's all I have got for y'all today. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about. We're out of time. I'll just carry that over to tomorrow. So let me look through the comments real quick, make sure I did not miss anything or anybody. So you got about 20 seconds to say whatever you want to say. No, I think I got everything. Oh, good. All righty. Well, with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. It's important. I know you were loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you so much for allowing me to have my daily dose of therapy by just talking it out. Take care of yourself. Don't shoot yourself to death, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, Bentley is saying cheers to ugly enchiladas. That sounds like a euphemism for something also. Is an enchilada a messy taco? That's also a euphemism. Yeah, maybe. So, all right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say? Talk to you later. Bye.